Nada, he has GERD, baby acid reflux, just like Leilani had. And they both didn't have it at first. Then they developed it. Maybe about a couple weeks ago, he just started these giant spit ups every time we would feed him. So, I talked to the doctor, whatever, and they told me to try, because he eats closer to every 1.5 to 2 hours. So they were like, try to phase it out till 3. And just cut down his past or whatever, so that he's not eating as much, because they think he might be overeating, and then to sit him up and burp him like all the time to help. And so far, I mean, I've only been doing it a couple days, but so far it's really helped with how much he's spitting up. So, but he's doing really well. That's what took me so long to get on the call. I was trying to lay him down on his bobby so that I wouldn't have to hold him for a couple of minutes, because I've literally been holding him all day.
Hi, Shanithia.
Hi.
There we go. I think Angela's coming in. I let her in the room. She's coming in.
Oh.
Hi.
How's everything going, Shanithia? Everything going good?
Yes, it's so hard to get her off my breast.
Yes, Angela, and
Oh, wow.
I'm still trying.
How old is she now?
She's 1.
Oh, wow. How's her brother doing?
He's doing good.
How,
He's eating peaches.
how old is he now?
He is 4.
Wow.
Whoa. Wow. Hey.
Is he going to preschool?
Not yet.
Okay.
Stop yelling, baby. He got his first haircut the other day.
Wow.
Like, I was so surprised that he sat down so still to get it done.
Oh, wow.
Ron is coming in.
Oh. Hey.
Hey. Look at her.
So big. Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Oh my God.
This is cool. Look at everybody.
I miss you guys so much.
Oh, trust me.
Hi.
I miss you all too. Believe me. Hey, Nakia.
Me too. Let me put you on the camera. Be happy.
Oh, look at him.
Oh.
He's a pig.
Wow. Look at her.
Hey, guys. Everybody looks so wonderful. Kiana.
Hi.
Hello, how are
looks
you?
great.
Look at him.
I'm good. We actually just came from the hospital.
What
Okay.
is going on?
Yeah, our baby has a temperature of 102.3.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Is he cutting teeth?
He is cutting teeth.
Yeah.
I see the whiteness of his teeth. He does not have an ear infection. He did just have a little bit of thrush, but that's gone because I treated it at home. He's not. He's just a little sleepy to me. Like he's not in the mood really.
Great idea. I don't want to
They
smell
did
it.
test him for the virus because when they pricked his finger, they said that he has a viral, some type of viral virus, but they don't know exactly what. So they tested. You guys know I'm very upset about that because I do not expose him to nothing and nobody. So,
Right.
like, how in the heck, if that's the case, how in the heck did it happen? Because he doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
So,
Have you had your windows open in your house?
no,
Anybody been coming in and out? Anybody been there to visit?
just my mother. That's it.
And has your mother been anywhere else other than home?
No.
Okay.
Lee, that's not the case, and it could just be because he's cutting teeth.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say he probably just cutting his teeth. That's it, because they will run a fever and feel a little lethargic when they're cutting teeth. In particular, their molars.
He's rubbing the boob, so he's about hungry.
Go ahead and give it to him. All right. Miss Boswell, you want to go ahead and get started, however you want to get
Yeah.
started?
Hey, Miss
Yeah. Well,
Fox.
hello, everybody. I'm so glad to see y'all. I miss
We
y'all.
We miss you
Yeah.
so
We
much.
miss you
I
too.
know, I miss y'all too, but I am so proud of y'all though. Y'all are wonderful mothers. Y'all are doing so well. Yes, yes. Y'all keeping them babies safe and happy, and y'all are breastfeeding. So that's an extra bonus, you know, you're
Right.
breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I just want to ask y'all a question. You know, times are changing now, right? So, and things are not going to get back like they were. So we have a lot of virtual learning. And I don't know whether y'all have children in school, but y'all have experience in virtual learning, the ones that have them in school or that have nieces and nephews or whatever. But we need to get prepared for the future of this virtual learning, okay? Because it's important that we get an understanding of it with these children, because you got to go online for the doctors.
Right.
Okay, you got to go online for your appointments. So when you go online with the doctors, you need a little bit of education, because you really can't actually see what's going on with the doctors, and a lot of the diagnosis, you know, you have questions about, and I'm pretty sure that maybe sometimes these telemedicine conference calls are timed. You probably don't have a certain amount of time to really be on it, and that might exclude you asking a certain amount of questions. So you need to really be familiar with what's going on. Okay, so I want y'all to get an understanding of the telecommunication medicine, especially with the doctors, especially with the pediatricians, your own doctors. Okay, as well as the baby's doctors. Okay, be aware. I want you to be proficient in it. Okay, I want you to know what to ask for, you know, what are they doing, the questions to ask, because, you know, it's going to be very, very important, because they're going to be filing a lot of paperwork, computer work, and you don't want to be getting that mixed up with anybody else. And it's very easy, very, very easy to do. Okay, so my question is, how many of y'all are really familiar with the virtual learning?
I am.
I am.
Okay, what about you, Brianna?
To a degree, all I've been doing for her is like literally only playing educational videos like on YouTube for her, like all day long, since she's down here a day. I mean, because she's not, you know, she's only, well, 20 months, almost 20 months now, so she's not like at preschool age yet. So I've just been playing. She picks up really well. If it's in a song form, Leilani will learn it so quick. She loves songs.
That's the
So
same thing with
playing
AJ.
videos for her.
Can I say something real
Yes,
quick?
Cameron. Uh-huh.
Okay, so we've been doing, you know, she's 9 months, and we've been
Oh
doing
my
a
God.
called
She got big so fast.
Right? She was just this size
Oh.
and now she's so grown. I can't take it.
we're watching something called Tiny Yogis. It's a yoga program. It's a black lady out of Atlanta, and she has already started. You know, because she's in the mimic phase, so she's already started doing her breath.
Okay.
And it's only like 12, 13 minutes. It's short enough that it keeps their attention. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that like she does Sesame Street, of course, but other than that, the only thing she watches is Quelly TV, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. But Quelly TV is a
on
black.
PBS Kids.
Quelly TV is basically like black Netflix, black Hulu, is that kind of thing. So that's what we do.
Have you tried Aquila and Me?
No.
Okay. Aquila Me is good for ABCs and numbers and shapes, and it has a lot of movements in it. It's an African little sister, and her name is Aquila. And and like I said, she takes you through the shapes and the numbers, but the children really, really love it. So they can start learning their ABCs and their numbers, not learning them, but just hearing it over and over and over again. And this will also help them with their speech You know, so it's called Aquila and Me, which is good. What about you, Nikki? How are you familiar with the virtual learning? You have children in elementary school. How's it coming with you?
Everything's pretty much good over here. I'm still with the RPS school stuff. We get everything on a computer.
Right.
And Bella has her own little stuff going on the TV, you know.
What about the computer? Is she doing her virtual learning on the computer?
Bella's more of a she's more of a dance learner.
Right.
So when we talk about brushing your teeth, we gotta dance to brush the teeth, and
okay.
talk about wash your hands. We gotta dance to wash your hands and stuff.
Okay.
That's all her. She's a musical one. So we found like a lot of little stuff on YouTube as well. I do have an app. Sienna, bring me the phone. I have an app that I had downloaded, and it has been helping us a lot because Bella she's starting to talk. She's starting to talk. So what I use for her is the Happy Kids TV.
Uh-huh.
They have a lot of little stuff for all ages, all the way up to 6 to 10-year-old boys and 6 to 10-year-old girls. It has 0 to 2 months on here. 0 to 2 years old.
Right, right.
Learning stuff, movies, stuff all for children. Bella really likes watching the learning stuff that's on here. The hands-on learning stuff. They teach the parents what to do with the children. So that's what we're doing over here.
Okay. So let me ask y'all a question. Are y'all having any issues keeping up with your doctor's appointments and your pediatrics appointments during this time? Y'all still keeping up with the doctor's appointments and the okay. What about you, Kawan? You haven't had any problems getting through to the doctors or anything, have you?
No.
Me neither.
Okay.
AJ with the virtual learning situation, it's not hard for him. I've been doing it long before this whole little virus thing has catching out. So he's well aware of the cell phones, well aware of the computers and the tablets and stuff. It's a thing of getting him off of it.
So this might be a question that you might think about it. Is this new lifestyle that we are adapting? It might not be as new for y'all as it is for me, because I'm older than y'all, but this new lifestyle, you can order stuff online now. You can order groceries online. You know, you're more so at home. Okay, you're not going out as much. Does this have an effect on your breastfeeding?
No.
Is it better or is it worse, or what type of effect does it have on your breastfeeding?
I'm not going to say that. I do know that I was not able to make any type of shipping as far as my lactation stuff was concerned.
You wasn't able to make what?
I had to get my shipping in. For my lactation stuff. The company that I go through actually had shut down for a while and was not shipping anything because
anything like what? Like what are you speaking of?
Well, basically when I do shipping for my lactation stuff, I get the drops and I get the cookies and the brownies and stuff like that. Stuff that I can make on my own. And I have it delivered to my house. But the company that I go through hasn't been able to make any deliveries because of how many states it has to go through.
So what kind of cookies are they, and what does the cookies have in them that supports your breastfeeding?
I'm gonna get the lactation stuff now so I can show it to y'all. No.
Because the drops, and what does the drops do? Does it increase your milk supply?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else?
These are emergency, if you guys can see it. Emergency brownies.
Okay.
I have not eaten any of the brownies because they say emergency, so that's only meaning when you really just can't really eat any milk together. These have, hold on. The ingredients in it is I do know one of it is like flex seeds and stuff. But this is where it's made by. It's made by Milky Moms.
I want you to read me the ingredients.
Okay.
So you know what's in them. Just in case you can't get those, you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, I started on doing that. Hold on, I gotta put the baby down.
It might be another resource where you can get that from. It doesn't necessarily have to be those cookies. That might even store even longer. And y'all get in the habit of reading the labels and see what y'all taking in. Y'all should read all your labels.
So Sister Bosma, while she doing that, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so boom, she's had coughing, sneezing, itching since she was born, and her doctor is a holistic Black woman, pro-Black, and she suggested just getting an air filter for the house, like an air filter machine. We got that. That still ain't happening. The only other thing is maybe it could be the dog, right?
Right.
So her final option is okay to get allergy testing, which is the needles, whatever. What is your experience with that?
Well, one way that you can one thing that I do is when you start them on a certain food and see how they react to that certain food. Don't introduce them to a whole lot of things at one time. Like if they're gonna eat strawberries, let them eat strawberries and see how they react to the strawberries. If they're gonna eat peaches, let them eat peaches and see how they react to the peaches. With the allergies, it can be a number of things. It might just be the chemicals that you use in your hair.
Right, because this started before she started eating any of the food, and I make the food myself.
Right.
She's allergic to the bananas, broke her out, and the apples broke her out.
Okay, so the bananas and the apples. Okay,
right.
So you're just gonna have to see. She might grow out of it. I don't know if it's something type of detergent that you might use in your clothes. It might be some type of oil that you put on your skin. It can be a number of things because they are so sensitive. Have you noticed when she's around a certain, like if she's in the kitchen, does she start sneezing and breaking out? Does she start sneezing and breaking out in the bedroom? When the dog comes around, when she's around grass.
So at this point, the dog is completely separated from her. And it's not a particular time of day. It's not a particular room. It's been like this since she was born. It's something here in the house, or it's outside, like all these trees.
Right.
So at this point, I'm like, I don't want her to continue to be miserable. Who wants to keep breaking out? And you know what I'm saying? So should I just go ahead and do the allergy the test with the needles? I mean, I've talked to a bunch of people that say the needles don't. Sydney, hey!
Yeah. Sydney's here. Angelica's joining us.
I'm here.
Hi.
Hey, I'm doing the same.
Can y'all
hear
Angelica?
Hey, I miss you guys.
We miss you all.
I say
Hi. Hello.
So anyway, so my question was, just at this point, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do the allergy testing with the needle.
Yes, that'll be good.
Because I don't want her to be miserable. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just wanted to see what you thought.
Yeah. But find out exactly what they are doing, what they are using, what they are doing, the results, and you just make sure that they send you a copy of the results of the diagnosis. Whenever I get anything done, I tell them to send me a copy of it. And I always have a folder for my children. I have a folder for them. Like if they go and get blood drawn, I have a copy of their blood work. Okay, if they go and see I got a grandson who was having some issues with his head, with his brain. He suffers from concussions. Every time they did something with him, I got the paperwork on it. Okay, so it might go away, but in the future it might come back. You see what I'm saying? And that way you can track it. You can always track it. You know, like 2020, you know, she was diagnosed with such and such and such a thing, you know. So I always keep my paperwork. Okay. Any type of procedures I have, I tell them, or diagnostic testings, or even my mammograms, anything. Okay.
Send it to me.
Biopsies, anything. I tell them, send me a copy, and then I get in the habit of reading it. And if I don't understand the terminology, I learn the terminology. So when I go back to the doctor, I can ask questions according to the language that they use.
Okay, so being proactive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to keep a record and a track of your children, you know, as far as their health, because you know she might have this pediatrician or this naturopath this year, but her insurance might change. You see what I'm saying? And if her insurance changes, then she'll have somebody else. And then you have a record. When they go to another doctor or a specialist, you have a record of what's going on. And that gives you power. That empowers you as a mother. That's one of the empowerments as a mother.
Right.
Okay? Just keep track of it.
Okay.
And whenever y'all go into the doctor's office, always keep a notebook and pencil in your pocketbook, so you can ask questions and you can write things down. Even for yourself, you keep a notebook and a pencil and paper. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Nikki, when is your baby due?
September 27th.
Okay. Do you want me there? I'll write that down.
Yes.
Okay, September the 27th. Okay. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing okay. I have a lot of Braxton Hicks going on.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So that's why y'all see me swaying and stuff.
Okay.
I have a lot of that going on. I have to alternate my appointments.
Okay.
So like I have, like last week I had my phone visit, and 4 weeks I go in to do my ultrasound and my glucose and everything.
So how's your phone visits going? Do you feel comfortable with the phone visits?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because I have everything I need already here from when I had Bella. So I check my blood pressure and everything else here.
Okay.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Angelica, and how are you and that beautiful baby? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. We've been in the house since even before that, we kind of have been.
She's moving around and we can't hear you.
She's high energy these days. I know. She about to be
that's what I'm talking
September,
about.
so.
Conscious parenting. She's high energy today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's high energy. I'm trying to get her off of Passy. She stopped nursing now. So, yeah, she's now stopped. But I went a minute nursing her. We stopped right over 20 minutes. So,
I mean, that's good though, because you know, self-weaning instead of you trying to fight her off you. So that's great.
yeah, well, at first it was because I was busy and I was out of the house, but then I stopped right before the quarantine. Well, like right during the quarantine. Like, so she was 18 months in March, then April, May-ish is when we were like weaning. And now June, no more milk.
So how do you feel about you breastfeeding for such a long period of time?
I feel great. I wish I kind of, now that I'm like the quarantine is like the first wave of the quarantine is over. I kind of wish I didn't stop.
Right.
I mean, it was definitely a sacrifice. Of course, everybody knows that's breastfeeding. But it was a great sacrifice, and only after stopping, I'm like, I didn't really have to stop. So, it's some parts of it that I'm like, okay, well, I get to move around a little bit more, but it is so rewarding. Anybody that's breastfeeding right now, try to go as long as you can.
I'm on a Zoom conference.
And only if you have to stop.
Zoom conference. I'll be off in half an hour.
Yeah. So only if you have to stop, you stop. But if you can keep going, keep it going.
Hi, Mama.
And look at Miss Sydney. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I just finished feeding him. I'll introduce you guys.
Please.
This is Aiden. Say hi. Aiden. Hi, Aiden. He was born May 6th.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Somebody
He said hello.
Hi.
Hey, Aiden. We can't wait to meet you.
How was your delivery?
Oh, it was good. I ended up getting induced because they thought he was gonna be small, but he ended up being 6 pounds 11 ounces, so he was a good size.
Yeah.
But I went in on like the 5th. I went in on the 5th, and I got induced that evening, and then it was supposed to take longer than a day, but it happened. I went from like 3 centimeters to 10 centimeters in like a couple hours. And then he shot right out. I only had to push one time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really fast.
That's
I
how it
had
was with us.
doula.
Yeah.
My doula was Nakaya. I don't know if anybody's used her or knows her. But
Yeah, I'm
she
familiar.
came like right after he was born. And she was like, this is the first birth I've ever missed. And I was like, it was so fast.
Bosma almost missed ours. Because it was like, the baby came. It was like, I was like, we don't need her. We don't need her. And then I was like, where are you?
Right. At one point, I was like, she needs to hurry up. I don't know what's going on.
So how is your breastfeeding going?
It's going really well. When I first started, I was kind of just nervous. I wasn't sure if he was eating enough or, you know. What?
Oh,
sorry.
No problem.
But it's going really good. He's gaining weight and pooping all the time, and he's doing a good job.
No issues with soreness
or
tenderness?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't get back going. I'm trying to figure out. There you go. Okay, I'm back.
Oh, I can hear you.
There you are. We have about 9 minutes and 56 seconds left.
So, Sydney, how's the breastfeeding? Are you breastfeeding? Everything coming along okay?
Yeah, everything's good. He wasn't done eating, I guess, so now he's back on.
Okay.
But yeah.
Have you healed okay?
I actually had my 6-week appointment this morning, and everything's good. I had one like small tear that's all healed up.
Okay. Did you go in the doctor's office for your visit, or was it by telecommunication?
I got to go in.
Good, very good.
Yeah.
Good. So, is there anything that you need from us, or
Yeah, that's
okay?
what I was gonna say. You need anything?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You got breast pads for leaking, all that?
Yes, I have a ton of them, and I
Okay.
don't seem to like leak very much. Like sometimes, like right after he eats, I might leak like a tiny bit, but the rest of the time, I don't really wear them too much.
Okay, with the breast pads, you know, we have to be creative.
Uh-huh.
What are you laughing at? You don't even know.
I think Ms.
What are you
Bosma got
laughing at?
frozen for a moment. She was talking about breast pads and being creative. So what she probably is going to tell you how you can actually make your own breast pads.
Oh.
Especially, yeah, you can do that. You can actually use cloth diapers, you know, and you can cut them and you can put them right inside of your bra. But you can do several things. So nutritionally, how are we all doing as far as our nutrition? Are we still eating well?
Oh yeah, that's going well. I just went grocery shopping yesterday. I got WIC recently too, so that's been helpful.
Good. Are we doing, as far as, we're going to talk a little bit, I wanted Miss Waluna on the line, but she is working until 8 a.m. in the morning. So with everything that's going on, we have about a little bit over 7 minutes left. With everything that's going on in the community and in the world globally, not just the pandemic, but the protests, has anybody had any issues with your mental health, and has that affected your breastfeeding or your breast milk, or are you making sure that you are in an environment of calm and peace?
You, my friend.
I'm not gonna answer.
Okay, gotcha.
It's
I
hard
was
to
just
answer
reading a
that
story on my phone that really, I was looking down, I was like, what? And then in the back of my mind, I said, who didn't see this coming? Something that just happened 11:30 this morning in the broad open daylight here in Richmond.
Yeah.
And I'll just go ahead and tell you if you haven't heard, but they've already desecrated the Arthur Ashe statue with White Lives
Oh
Matter.
yeah. I
I did see that.
Yeah, so we, you know,
Oh, these white people are
you could
crazy.
see that coming a mile away. You knew it was going to happen. But
Right.
how are you all doing? And anybody can chime in as it relates to all of how are you managing that? If you're having stress, if you're having anxiety, how are you able to manage that? If you aren't, that's great. That means that you're distancing yourself from what is actually going on in the world and what's going on in your little world. You know what I mean? Anybody can chime in at any point. There she is. She's back.
Been trying to stay in a peaceful environment and like online and stuff. I definitely keep up with what's going on, but I try not to get overwhelmed by everything by like constantly checking and reading what's happening. There's a lot going on and it's really crazy.
It is.
But also necessary.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
Well, it's a little bit difficult over here because a lot of the pandemic and stuff, I don't know if everyone knows, but I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and Brandon's from California. So I don't know if y'all heard about the lynching in California.
Yeah.
So being that we have families in these two different states, you know, and things are going on, it's a bit difficult and hard. It's like a hard pill to swallow. You don't know if it's one of your own. And having to see it publicly and hear about it constantly, it's a bit stressful. And then plus I have children that have questions. And having to, I don't know if y'all know, my daughter's mixed. So being that Tiana may ask me questions about, well, why are they doing this to Black people and not to white people? So then I have to answer to that and look at her like, I can't even tell you why is this continuing going. And then my son has mixed feelings about the police because that was his dream. He wants to be a police officer.
And
So
still
now
can.
that dream has been feeling like, now what I want to do. And trying to uplift him and keep him motivated. If this is what you want to do, I'm going to always support you. I know you will not be like them, what's going on in the community now. So he's more now fearful of the police. Going outside is not an option right now because they're everywhere over here. And the worst part of all, this is how this pandemic has affected my health. Being that I still nurse and I'm pregnant, Brandon goes to the grocery store for me. I'm ordered to be on bed rest. My spine is caving in. So supporting this pregnancy has been difficult because of my spine. I have a brace and everything else. It just doesn't work because I'm big. So it rolls underneath. But Brandon has went to the grocery store a few times for me, and we go to Kroger right here on Lombardi. He gets followed by the police every time he goes. So feeling like he has to look his shoulder all the time is not helping. So being that they keep doing that to him, and he asks the same questions, what did I do wrong? Why are y'all following me from the door all the way around the store? And then they want to search his stuff as if he stole food. So that has put a hindrance on that because now Brandon's like, I don't want to go back there. Then to top it all up with the pandemic, our food stamp card is lost. So having to wait and find out, we have to wait 21 days to get a new card. So my family has to go without because y'all want to wait 21 days to give a new card out. It's hard with that too, with the food, because that's the only thing we can depend on is the food that comes here on Tuesdays. So
well, we are able to, we're happy to have been able to help with that.
Yes.
We got about 1 minute and 16 seconds.
So that's what's been going on, and it's been hindrance on my health.
Sure. Absolutely. Anyone, we got about 1 minute left. Bosma, you have any closing remarks or anyone?
No, and I want y'all to know that we're here for y'all. If y'all need anything,
yes.
During this time we have to be creative, and like Nikki said, we have to be very, very mindful and be very, very protective of our children. We have to be very protective of them and make sure, the main thing is to make sure that I think it was and put in their milk, because it's going in her milk and will be coming out of her milk into the baby. So just making sure that we mindful of what we on TV. A lot is going on, but a lot of those issues we don't have to really look at, like George Floyd. I haven't seen that video. I don't care to see that video.
We got to wrap it up. It's almost gonna. It's about to cut us off.
That's
okay.